Now you can probably imagine that's one of the adjustments that I was talking about. This is the fore and aft adjustment in external balancing. In other words, does it want to go away from you or does it want to come back toward you? Now this is sitting on the operator like this, and this is rocking like this. Now if you tighten the bottom screw, what you're doing is you're pushing this block so that it's forward away from you on the top. And I'm tightening this now, and I'm not tightening the top one. All right? Now this pin here is going away from you like this. What that will mean is the pin at the end of the arm, which is the post, will also be going away from you and force the object in space away from you in space. If you would like it to come toward you, you can loosen this up, tighten the top one of these adjustments, the fore-aft adjustments. Now you tighten this one here, like so. Now you'll see that this block is moving back, this pin is also moving back, and the post at the end of the arm is moving back as well. What this will do is force the unit back toward you. You'll have to push it away from you. So this is the way you adjust fore and aft in terms of where the unit wants to go, fore and aft in that axis. Now, just as you can adjust that with these two screws, with this rocking mechanism here, you also have the ability to adjust the side to side. Now, when I pull this apart, you will see on the arm socket block male part of this, you will see that there are two Allen screws right here on top and bottom. Each of these on each side of this little point that goes in. Now, these can be adjusted. These are attached to these two aircraft screws that go and around this pin. Now, right now, this pin, these two are parallel and will remain so. This is parallel to here. As I turn, for instance, this top one, as you see here, I'm going to turn this out. You will see that this starts to move and extend, the top one extend. You can see this happening now. Now there it goes. Now I'm extending it out all the way here. That's about as far as it will go. It has a natural stop. You don't want to force it. Now what you'll notice is, if this is perfectly upright on you, this pin now is tilted this way. That means this pin is tilted this way, and it also means that the post at the end of the arm is now going to be tilted this way. What this will do, in effect, is it will make the whole camera unit go to the right. And you see now, to go to the right, what's happening is you are taking and pushing this pin out, the top of it, out to the right, and it will want to go to the right. Now, if I would desire it to go to the left, I would take this and I would tighten this up, which I'm doing. You see it going back in now? This is going back in. And I would do exactly the opposite, which is I would take the bottom one and undo it very much the way you'd undo a screw, which is counterclockwise. And you'll notice now that the bottom is moving out. Now, what is this going to do? This is going to do the opposite. Now this pin is leaning to my left, and the post will lean to my left, and the whole unit will want to come to my left. So now we have here the two adjustments for fore and aft, and also for side and side. One thing I may mention as a caution is that when you go to adjust this, initially, whether you rent it or assuming you own it, you want to tighten both of these down to their maximum tight here, and you want to have this so that this is as close to this as possible. Then you decide, adjusting one at a time, which way you want to go. You don't want to keep adjusting this one out and then keep adjusting this one out, because eventually these may fall out or break. They're not that strong. So that you only adjust one at a time, and you start your adjustments by having both of these snug in as tight as you can, like so.
Now we're going to show you how to stand and walk and lean against the action of the sled. We're going to deal with the personal adjustments in the arm. We're actually going to set them up and show you how it works. And as an easy way to do this, I suggest that you get a bag or a sandbag, something like that, and put a few of them over the end of this post and use that rather than using the sled. The sled moves around a lot on the gimbal, and that can confuse you as to the very simple bit of how you stand, how you should stand. So you could use a bag, but we're going to use like this and hang it over the end of the arm, like that. But Instead of that, we're going to use a specially made weight that we use in the classes. You could do this with the EFP. You could go right into the EFP. But my suggestion is this would be easier. You'll learn about how to stand in relationship to this thing much faster if you use the weight. Okay. The key here is that this weight, its center of gravity is somewhere in here, right? Your body has a center of gravity here, and your toes on the floor, and I'll move back a little bit here so you can see a full body shot here. Your toes are at a common center of gravity of this thing. And if this camera unit, or this weight now, moves away from you, you've got to lean back. Otherwise, you'll fall over, right? And as it comes close to you, stand up straighter so that weight is always over your feet. The feet are always fixed underneath the common center of gravity. Okay? Out. Back. If it's over here, you got to lean away from it. If it's over here, you got to lean the other way. And it's not a big thing. And what you want to try and do at first is try and get this thing to hover in here. Now watch, if this thing is way out of balance, and I'm going to change my threads here so that now this thing has a tendency to violently go in that direction. And to keep it there, I've got to lean way, way back. Okay? I'll take it back to what's normal. Crank it back up. You can see. These are my normal threads right here. And now the thing has a tendency just to stay there. If this thing was violently going off that way, I would change the threads in these two aircraft screws here to bring it back in this direction. If it had a tendency to violently go that way, I would change the other aircraft screw to get it so it would tend to be in here. Don't get too crazy about this when you first put this on, because your threads will change as you get better at this. Okay? But get it so it more or less stays in place. In fact, I mean, we can be quite good about where we place this thing with our balance. We can control it within, a little tiny bit. But if your threads are wrong here, and these are personal adjustments, it won't be the same for you and the next guy. If these are wrong, you'll always be fighting this. Always be fighting this. And it's a lot of wasted energy.